We are live. We are live.
Okay. So breaking news, what happened?
South Africa have qualified for the semi-finals.
Yes, that's the breaking news. Because of what's happened in the Pakistan-New Zealand game, South Africa are through to the semi-finals. and let me try. Okay, think what's happened. Think. Pakistan have won.
Again, despite all odds.
Against all odds? No, don't worry. They haven't chased down 402. Rain had the final say. Rain, that is their version of Kudrat ka Nizam. Rain had the say. Pakistan, boosted by Fakhar Zaman's 126 out of the world, freakish, extraordinary knock. 8-2 Pakistan head-to-head World Cups versus New Zealand. They have won by 21 runs, by the way. Pakistan have won by 21 runs. So, I think it would have not impacted the net run rate that much.
Yeah.
But New Zealand, I always knew Pakistan get their A game against two nations. They get their D team against India. But their A game is against Sri Lanka or against New Zealand. And today, my goodness, the way how Fakhar Zaman took after the New Zealand team.
Especially the spinners.
Vengeance. He was batting with vengeance out there. And for all the people trolling Fakhar Zaman and for all of them saying that, he can't be in this team. Well, 126 of 66 with 10 sixes, the most by a Pakistan opener ever in a World Cup. And he's now gotten the fastest 100 by a Pakistan opener in World Cup history. What a stage to do it, what a way to do it. Pakistan have done two things. One, dented New Zealand's chances. Second, helped South Africa qualify. That's it. South Africa have qualified for the semi-finals of the World Cup because now they cannot go below any of the other teams below.
Why not?
New Zealand can only get to 10.
Pakistan can go into 10, but
Yes.
Afghanistan can get to 12.
Yeah.
So Afghanistan, then South Africa, India, and Australia, let's say.
Yeah.
Can then
So whoever else.
Yep. So
And if Pakistan are to go through,
they have to beat England and ensure
Then-
New Zealand loses to Sri Lanka.
then the Indian team is not headed to Mumbai.
Yeah, but I'll get to the permutation combinations a little later. But going back to the mid innings, none of us gave Pakistan any chance of winning it. The only thing I will say that when three of my colleagues here, when I asked them any chance, they said no. I gave them an option. Or in fact a scenario where I said, what if Fakhar Zaman came to the party? What if the one problem that Pakistan had, with Harshit had pointed out, is that they are a 320-30 type of chasing side. 400 is way beyond them. And so it's out of their comfort zone, which is a point well taken. But I said, what if that one X factor that was missing, what if Fakhar Zaman was to play that role today, give you a blistering start of 50 balls, 80 runs type of a platform. From there on, Babar and Rizwan and everyone comes to the party and they chase 400 down. And guess what? That's exactly what's happened. In fact, he's exceeded our expectation. 50 ball, 80 nahi, he's done 80 ball, 126.
Yeah.
So, that was the only way that they could have done it. I know that the jury is going to be out and we'll discuss about all of that. But before I get into whether it's right, wrong, Duckworth-Lewis, whatever, I must say that I'm reminded of 1992. Pakistan were in a similar situation. In fact, even a more hopeless situation than the one that they find themselves in this tournament. And for those of you who weren't born at that time or were too small to remember, I'll give you a context. Pakistan were bowled out for 74
in Adelaide.
Yeah. Adelaide. So it was Adelaide, 74, 77, I can't remember, but I think 74. 74, they were bowled out, and they were 24 for 1, if I'm not mistaken. England were chasing
Yeah.
in Adelaide, 24 for 1, chasing 75 to win,
Yeah.
and rain comes down and the game is abandoned. Had Pakistan lost that match, and there was a 99% chance of them losing that match, they would have been knocked out of that tournament. So rain gods came, gave them a lifeline, points were split, and from there on, of course they played good cricket from there on and won. But all I remember of that game is that Salim Malik was the highest scorer. I think he got 15, 17 something was the highest scorer. So 17 was the highest individual score of that game. Pringle got 3
wickets.
Botham got 2.
I think Lewis chipped in.
No. Gladstone Small got 2.
Small, yeah.
Small got 2, Botham got 2, Pringle got 3.
Yeah.
Maybe a few others. Was that Reeves? Was Reeves?
Dermot Reeves.
Yeah, Dermot Reeves was there.
Reeves, yeah.
So that was the English bowling lineup. From there, the Corner Tigers went ahead and won the tournament. If I was to ask you which one is the bigger miracle, this one or that 92 one, 74, they got all out in that game?
92. Has to be that biggest miracle. See, we had a similar vibe even in 2022.
22, yeah.
Remember the World T20? That's when they had lost to Zimbabwe, they had lost to India, but then somehow Pakistan needed South Africa to lose to Netherlands.
And that happened.
And that happened. But in 1992, the situation was even more hopeless because they had lost by 10 wickets to West Indies. They were hammered by India. They lost to South Africa by 20 runs. And to make matters worse, the game against England got abandoned. They only won against Zimbabwe. But then after that, they had to win everything. 4 out of 4. One against Australia and Perth. That started the thing for them. One against Sri Lanka. Then beat New Zealand. And then won in the semi-finals against New Zealand. Beat England as well. Now here, looking at it, you have lost very badly to Australia, you lost badly to India, you lost very badly to even you may say Afghanistan of all teams. Now winning against Bangladesh, winning against New Zealand, you may say
You said 92 was a big
was the biggest miracle.
Bigger than this?
Yes.
See, defending 74,
Due to a sheer miracle of rain.
but 400, the highest successful chases in a World Cup also 345.
Yeah.
400 chase is not a miracle.
No, but if they had to do that, I mean, look at how they batted. I'd say there's a lot more sporting merit this time around. 25 for 1 was the scoreline, you said.
Yes.
Which means that for all intents and purposes of a normal game, there was no chance they would have defended that. Sure, this is also rain truncated, but here they were far more calculative. They started getting more and more aggressive towards the 18th over, knowing fully well that 20 over is when the cutoff is put into place, and they were 10 runs ahead at the first rain break. Continued that aggressiveness in the very brief game time they got. By the end, they were 21 runs ahead, so they knew what they were doing.
So okay, both say 92 bigger miracle.
92
bigger miracle. Maybe. Again, it's just a way of looking at it. Anytime you win a game where you're asked to chase 400 plus, in whichever manner you've done it, and again, rain helped you here, rain helped them there, so that evens things out. But anytime you've been awarded the full 2 points for a game where you had conceded 400 runs is a massive miracle for me. None of us gave them a chance here in mid-inning, so it's a miracle. Fine, fair enough, maybe all three of them are right, where if we are comparing the two miracles of 92 and 2023, you could possibly say that 92 was a bigger miracle. But the next question, are Pakistan lucky because of Duckworth-Lewis, where things stand right now? Will they consider themselves lucky?
Yes.
Because they won by 21 runs?
Yes.
Or they would have won the game anyway with the way they were batting? Or they are lucky?
They are lucky. They are lucky. Because even if you look at the previous instance, when the overs were cut, 41 overs, they needed 342. Sure, Fakhar Zaman would have continued batting, say 25.3, they would have been 200. But the risks would have increased also. So the chances of losing a wicket were also increasing. By the time, who knows, when you come closer to the target, what strange kind of pressures do to you, because you are playing you are behind the 8 ball right from the very beginning. So I would say DLS gave Pakistan a lifeline. I think they got lucky.
I'd partly agree. See, take nothing away from the fact that Fakhar Zaman and Babar also, by the way, accelerated towards the end, which is why he ends with a strike rate of more than 100. So credit to Pakistan for the way they approached the game, and they were, I think at some point they were expecting DLS to kick in, which is why I could see the acceleration as well. So number one. Number two, I don't quite think had the game gone the distance that Pakistan would still have done it. That's not to say that they don't deserve this victory for whatever it is.
So where the game stopped, let's say it was going the full distance, and let's say this was a tea break, and not a tea break, and we are doing a show. Old school one day cricket, which used to have a tea break also. So we are going with a tea break. It used to be a 35 over tea break. So assuming this was tea break, we were doing a show, and I asked you, this is the situation. What percentage chances were you giving Pakistan at this stage? Considering the game is going full 50 overs, this is tea break.
I would have said 40% Pakistan.
Yeah, same 40%. But 40%, considering we were giving them no chance at the start, still an improvement.
45 maybe.
Okay.
Because from here, all they had to do was play with their template. Fakhar Zaman had already given them the foundation. You expected some more acceleration, let's say from one of the guys had to click. Perhaps it could have been Iftikhar. Babar could have continued to play the way that he does. Rizwan could have continued the way. Again, he didn't have to then do something extraordinary, let's say. If both of them were to bat, let's say, in excess of 95 or 100 strike rate around that territory, I think that would have taken Pakistan to the total.
I am not going to call this a lucky win for Pakistan, because I think they deserved it. Chasing, you're exactly at the halfway stage where the game is called off, and you're exactly at the halfway mark in terms of run achieved.
Exactly.
Right? So from here on, I'm giving the batting side a higher chance. Also, had this been 200 for 3 or 4, I would have given New Zealand more chances. 200 for 1 wicket at this stage. This is tea break, no rain coming, and the game is to resume the remaining 25 overs. And we did a mid-inning discussion. I would have given 55-45 to Pakistan. I would have given slight edge to Pakistan, which is why if anyone says that Pakistan's gotten lucky because of this rain break, I don't think so. Today, the way Fakhar Zaman has batted, and by the way, kudos to him to not have given away his wicket after reaching that 100. He continued at that tempo and has taken them to 126. God knows how many more he could have got, right? Babar slowly and gradually coming up, and with Rizwan and Iftikhar to come, Agha Salman can bat, Hassan Ali could bat as well, Shaheen Shah Afridi can bat. They have a deep batting lineup. It was a 20-20 game from here on, getting 200 runs. By the way, 200 runs in 25 overs, which was about 160-70 in a T20 game. I'm giving the batting side more chance, considering they got 9 wickets in hand. And let's not forget, this is Bangalore. So here, 180 is easy meet in T20, and they are at that stage with almost the full wickets in hand, which you get in a T20 game. Yeah. I would have thought Pakistan are favourite. So well deserved to Pakistan. None of us gave them a chance. I asked you guys, and because of you, put a wrong tweet out.
No.
But
did you?
I did not.
Yeah.
I did not put it out. I was going to say, I asked them for their opinion mid innings that should I put a tweet out. So Indian fans, get ready for Wankhede, first semi-final, and everyone said yes. And I would have heard them, but then somewhere back of my mind, something said, don't do it. Don't. Don't. And good I did not.
We just need to be more persuasive next time.
No, I'm not going to do it. And now this is a lesson learned. All the more I'm not going to do it. Not going to put that out. Good I did not.
But since you mentioned now, chances,
they may still play. India may still. A good chance that India still plays.
But now what this win has done is now you're looking at Pakistan closing in on that number 4 spot. Even though New Zealand have that slight advantage when it comes to net run rate, but then
still a big advantage. Plus 0.4 to plus 0.04.
But then looking at Pakistan, I think they've given themselves a very good chance now.
No, of course, the win has given them a chance, but if you were to look at that combination, I'd still give New Zealand simply because of a better net run rate and better chance of New Zealand beating England than Pakistan. New Zealand beating Sri Lanka than Pakistan beating England. So I would say, assuming both do win their last game, there's a good chance New Zealand finish with a higher net run rate. They're already ahead, and with Sri Lanka, you have a better chance of getting that net run rate, going.
But one subject that I want to touch upon, it's 4 losses now in a row for the Kiwis. What's really going wrong? Is there something going horribly wrong? Or it's just been, let's say, a couple of unlucky results. This and let's say the one against Australia where they fell short with just 5 runs.
It's a combination of everything. I mean, they got their injuries.
Is there anything massively wrong with the side?
I think
it's funny that you're asking on a day that a team, which is also valid, on a day a team's got 400 runs, and we are discussing is there massively wrong with that team.
That's what. That day, it's a team that got 383, fell short by 5 runs.
Yeah.
So I think New Zealand and doing 350, 380 plus is not a good omen for them.
So, as I said, if anyone says Pakistan got lucky today, I'd say no. But I'd also say that New Zealand are the most unlucky team this World Cup.
New Zealand are the most unlucky team in the world, regardless of what sport it may be.
Yeah, it's been a horror week for them.
No, in cricket also. Last
in
World
cricket
Cup.
especially so.
Because see, again, to be fair, even though I gave 55-45 to Pakistan, ask any Kiwi player, they would have wanted the game to go full distance. Of course, right? Great chance. So, in that sense, they're very unlucky. You're right. On a day they get 400, the rain comes, it's a shortened game, the chasing team wins. On the day they get a world record kind of a chase, almost, they fall short by 5 runs. India, they lost a game which they ran. I think the closest India have had a game in this World Cup has been against New Zealand.
Yeah.
So everywhere they've been there and thereabouts, but that's the thing, marginal. Whereas you've had other teams which have been Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde in the tournament. One day fantastic, one day pathetic, and yet find themselves in the same position as New Zealand.
See, 3 things have happened for New Zealand. One, the bowling combination has been totally gone. It's gone awry because of the injuries that has happened. Okay. Number 1. Number 2, at the worst possible time, your batting is also underwhelmed. Classic case, South Africa match.
No, he's not talking about today.
I'm talking about all the 4 losses.
But again,
All the 4 losses.
I'll hear you out first,
Except against Australia
and today, the other 2 games you underwhelmed. Because see, had Shami not had that burst in the death overs, True.
they could have had 30 runs more and India would have struggled.
You're right, yeah.
Number 1. Number 2, look at the bowling combination. Now, Lockie's injury unfortunately threw everything haywire. That is why on this wicket you needed a Lockie Ferguson. Today, what happened to the spinners? Now, in hindsight, even Kane got it wrong.
That's what I was about to actually come to, is that we were discussing beforehand that, is it Babar who got it wrong? Is it Kane who got it wrong? Because both went with pole opposite kind of approaches. You had Pakistan get 4 pacers in, and these guys were playing with 4 spinners, and in hindsight, both got it terribly wrong. It was a typical Bangalore track where you needed a mixture of both. And actually today, I think they could have done with the 3rd
I
pacer.
would actually hold Kane Williamson guilty today of, let's say, his leadership, in the sense that I think he persisted with the spinners for too long.
He didn't have other options.
At some point, I felt because Fakhar Zaman was taking a liking for everyone, especially Glenn Phillips. He had to bring in that change, and then again, Sander would only have helped Fakhar Zaman, right? He wouldn't have made things worse for Fakhar Zaman. I thought, it was, let's say, unexpected of Kane Williamson to just persist with his spinners for that long. Should have brought in somebody.
He did. He brought in, if I remember correctly, in the 19th or 18th over, he brought in Tim Southee. He was pumped for a 6 of the first ball. Gave away about 9-10 runs of that over. Trent Bolt was very expensive. So actually today he missed not having a 3rd pace option because the spinners just weren't doing anything.
I will only tell you where Kane Williamson went horribly wrong. Okay. Throughout the chase, you saw Fakhar Zaman was just going hammer and tongs here. No bowler could withstand him. Everybody tried. That over after the rain break, which he gave to Ish Sodhi, that was, I think, a blunder. Because maybe on this deck, with the rain and all that, it would have zipped through. Maybe Saudi could have been an option. Because why? Look at the margin, 21. That over gave you 20. 20 runs of Ish Sodhi. And he was not controlling it. And remember what I was saying. Leg spinner coming in to the left-hander. Short side of the boundary.
Yeah.
It was going to happen.
Yes.
And unfortunately, whatever you look at it, 2 left-arm orthodox spinners in Mitchell Santner and Rachin Ravindra both fell foul to that short side of the boundary. And what backfired for New Zealand? Glenn Phillips's off-spin not taking the ball away from the right-hander, from the left-hander.
He was. But the problem was that Fakhar was playing him very well.
Very well.
Charging and whatnot.
And he missed his length also. It was too full. So if the ball had to spin away, it had to come from a slightly goodish
Shorter.
length. But Fakhar Zaman was just in that zone. Any bowler that you pick on this kind of a road.
At one point, I thought that Fakhar would really give his wicket away because, and this was him prior to getting to his 100, because I remember this one time that he danced down the track and was completely off balance. He almost just reached out and lost balance also. I thought, okay, these are signs now, he's going to give his wicket away, he's being desperate.
But there was a one-handed six, but it went to the second tier because it is Bengaluru. 64 meters, that's the square boundary.
As Kane Williamson says, the ground wasn't even big enough for Fakhar Zaman.
Exactly. I mean, look at every ball was going into the second tier. Radha Swami. That showed he was in that zone, and what you said, calculated. It was calculated hitting. Babar Azam also acknowledges that we knew rain was going to come, so we planned the chase accordingly. He said, if we place 15 overs, we'll be ahead. They knew. We knew rain was coming. So the calculated mindset helped them. Small targets. Let's get there.
And more importantly, he also says, we knew there was a short boundary and utilized it. Exactly. They planned everything to perfection. So in hindsight, I don't think this is luck. And I'll tell you what, I'll tell you why I think they would have struggled even if the match went full 50. Needed a third pacer. They didn't have a third pacer.
Now coming back to that question then.
Yeah. Both
At the toss.
Both were wrong.
Both captains.
Now both are wrong.
Both were wrong. It was a road. Absolute road.
So then neither were wrong in that sense. We were being very harsh to Babar.
No, both were wrong.
No, what would you do? So if you played spinner, they got hammered.
Yeah.
You played a pacer,
Pacers
got hammered. So then they're not wrong.
No. Then play a bowling machine only. Simple.
With 11
can't do that.
When that happens,
Yeah.
when the captains are allowed to
Play
play
with
bowling
AI.
machine as bowling options, that they will talk. So neither were wrong. So you're being harsh to Babar, that between Babar and Kane,
Kane is the bigger genius.
yeah.
I am
Come on.
balanced. I'm balanced. Both got wrong. Because spinners were not helping, pacers were not helping.
Although they didn't get it wrong, nobody got it right. That's the better way to put it.
Okay.
And nobody could have got it right. Because it doesn't matter what you played, you're going to get hammered anyway.
This was a kind of wicket where you needed
Should
an
have taken
AI
Siddharth
bowler.
also to bowl, wouldn't have mattered.
I would have considered 9 overs, 150.
No, maybe you won't have. You never know. Something dibbly-dobbly sometime in these kind of conditions.
Mitchell in
yeah.
3 balls did far better than what the other bowlers did. 3 balls, 1 run. He was troubling them with that shortish kind of a length. But by the time anything could be explored, too late, the rain came. That's why.
Yeah.
Somewhere down the line, both captains got it wrong. Pacers persisted. 4 hours you bowled 400 runs. Here, spinners you tried 200 in 25 overs. So, it was a road. You played on a Bangalore IPL road where everybody, if you hit a 6, it could go out of the park. And that's why 2 semi-finalists done. Pakistan, can it get to that 4th spot? It remains to be seen now because they have only 1 game remaining.
Yep.
That's next week. So, by this, what has happened? The next week's games are relevant. Whatever way you look at, next week's games are very relevant now. And anything you want to add, Harshit? Shane?
No, I mean, look at it this way. You're talking about relevancy. I think I'll make that claim big time once the second game of the day is done. Because, again, if England do manage to beat Australia, and despite the fact that they've lost 2 wickets, they're going okay at this point because it's not a big total. Australia also would be thinking, not the best time to be losing a match. You don't want to be losing a match right now.
But credit, I want to add credit to Fakhar Zaman here. No amount of praise is, enough for him, considering he's the same guy who was the receiving end of everyone.
Yeah.
I saw a few PAK cricketers actually, even mock him, former cricketers. And he was in terrible form. Let's be honest. He was in terrible form from even before the Asia Cup. Was horrible at the Asia Cup. Was horrible even leading into this tournament in the warm-up games. Was horrible even when this tournament started. And everyone was going to drop him. Gets that chance. 2 matches since his comeback. Has been outstanding. And I guess sometimes that happens, right? You get a kick up your backside. You wake up. And maybe that's what is needed sometime. He reminded me, because I was there in that unfateful afternoon at the Oval Cricket Ground in 2017, where he was dropped or caught of a no ball, and from there on went on to play a match-winning inning. So we saw that. So we've been at the receiving end. So you know what he's capable of. What was woefully out of form.
That's the first time
But now
world
he's
got to know
gotten
about
back.
Fakhar Zaman.
Yeah.
When he punished India. Like he was just there, we knew about his existence, let's say. But when you punish India like that in a final,
And it
that
kind of
name-
reminds me of even 2017 also, because Fakhar Zaman came after Pakistan got hammered by India in Birmingham. He then played against South Africa, got a very crucial 31 in cloudy circumstances, 6 runs. They won by DLS there, won against Sri Lanka as well, with Fakhar Zaman doing good. Against England also he did very well, got that century in the final. So if Pakistan make it, now they have only one game left. Australia lose, they play Bangladesh and Afghanistan, so their path is more or less assured. I mean, I don't see them losing to either Bangladesh or Afghanistan. But if this happens, then next week's games continue to stay relevant.
Yeah.
So kudos to Fakhar Zaman, and New Zealand have made it 2-8 in ICC World Cups against Pakistan. Only 2 wins in 48 years. Now, after 50 years, they're still searching for their 3rd win.
But I'm mystified by New Zealand's sudden drop off. And I know that, there were certain games where, okay, fine, it was very close. And truth be told, I don't think they've done anything wrong. But I think they've hit that mental block at the worst time, whereby they've just gotten used to losing.
Yeah.
And again, it's just, of all times, you want to have a couple of losses here or there, sure. I mean, you even see South Africa, they had that one loss to Netherlands, came early on, but they galvanized. That could have derailed their campaign.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for New Zealand, once that first defeat came, only defeats have come since.
Yeah. And that two close ones.
Australia?
And India. But the other 2 have been shellackings. Against South Africa, I'm sorry, it summed up a horror week for New Zealand sport. Lost the Rugby World Cup final, now 2 massive losses. So, not good times for New Zealand sport. And questions, please. Okay.
Sharan
Vinakota is like asking, Kudrat ka Nizam, ICC, rain, and whatever it is. It looks like it's going Pakistan way, and rain predicted badly on New Zealand versus Sri Lanka game. Wow. Yes, 9th. Rain is predicted. So for that to happen, if New Zealand have to get to the semi-finals, hope England beats Pakistan. Simple. Then New Zealand stay on 9, Pakistan stay on 8. That's the only way possible, my friends. Otherwise,
Imagine you have to look at the luck factor here, because had the rain come mid innings,
that's it.
it would have hurt Pakistan.
Yes.
It has come at absolutely, like if they had to time it, they couldn't have timed it better.
21 overs. That's when the
But
rain
even
came.
today, there was a massive rain prediction for today as well, but it didn't eventually sort of rain
But it
as
came at
much.
the same time.
But again, who knows that game again?
Let's say it came first innings, let it came at the lunch break, abandoned 1 point share.
There was an 80% prediction for today, and then you had just enough rain, let's say, to have a result.
That's what I'm saying. Look
So
at that
what
luck
if
factor.
What if the other day as well, in that New Zealand Sri Lanka match also, it's just, let's say, pours enough that okay, you can have a game.
I'm saying that aside, I'm saying just look at today, the luck
Today,
factor
yeah.
for Pakistan. If it had rained earlier, it would have hurt them. If it had rained even at the start of the game, it would have hurt them.
True.
If the rain came much later after the 50 overs, maybe it would have hurt them, would have made their task much rougher. It is like the perfect timing. Like if you had to, actually put in a application to God as to when do you want the rain at what
20
stage.
overs.
And
perfect.
remember, on 9th, it's not a day game, it's an afternoon game. So the rain threat happens mostly in the evening time, it will impact you much more. Today you could get this much of result because it was a day game in the morning. That Pakistan took 4 hours to finish, that is their thing, and that's why it became so close. Otherwise on 9th, it's just going to be an afternoon game, and if the rain continues in this way, I don't think you can have a result. Because every time at 5 in the morning, in the evening, until about 8 or 9, it does rain in Bangalore. So, not good if that's the situation. Then you need England doing them a big favor by beating Pakistan and Kolkata. But looking at this current Pakistan team, I don't think so. Especially against England. I mean, they have lost only once in 30 years in ICC events to England. Just once. They lost in 2003 92 onwards till now they won. Even in 2019.
Even in 2019, when England lifted the World Cup, they ended up losing to Pakistan.
Yeah, so it's not good in that way. Mr. Shaker is saying from the US, good day gents, for me, game awareness behind the stumps by KL triumphs his batting. Not just basic catches and stumping, but also DRS and advice to skipper.
Good point.
Agree. I mean,
Yesterday, I think he had one very good review. Yesterday, the match against Sri Lanka,
Yeah.
he had one very good review, which no one picked up on, and he's like, no, he's gloved it. Please review it.
Yes.
Very good review.
Fantastic work from KL Rahul. And by the way, who is now our new vice captain?
KL Rahul.
Yeah.
But that's why he said.
Oh,
He wasn't asking.
I thought he's asking.
No, KL Rahul is the vice captain.
But that's not surprising.
It's not surprising. Yeah.
No, it's not
I just said
surprising, no.
congratulations yet again.
He was captain just now before the
Australia
World
series.
Cup started in the series that
2
was
matches.
played between India and Australia.
Yep. So, yeah, good work by KL Rahul behind the stumps at least. Catching acrobatic, he's been electric behind the stumps.
Yeah.
True.
Okay, predictions, semi-finals.
Ashish Dhar.
Predictions.
No, I still don't think Pakistan are making it.
Despite all of this, despite
all
what
of
you've
this,
seen,
despite
despite the famous Kudrat ka Nizam
It is like
working,
when the lamp is about to get extinguished, there's some few bright spots. Na? That's that Pakistan.
how many times people must have said this about various Pakistan teams, but somehow or the other,
That
they
lamp
find a
keeps
way.
burning.
They find a way. And it's all playing out exactly to script in that sense. Come on.
No, I don't think they are. They are not making it to the semis.
So, no India, Pakistan in Kolkata.
No.
India, whatever, Australia, New Zealand, Afghanistan.
Yeah.
I think it'll be New Zealand because, again, Sri Lanka is not a game that particularly inspires me with confidence.
Yeah.
I think Sri Lanka is the one team they'd have wanted to face right now.
But what if rain comes?
Yeah, then it's open season. Then it's open season.
Which is why the
I
confidence.
thought, look, these signs were enough for all of us to finally say, yes, it is happening.
I'm not getting blown away by Pakistan.
That's the thing.
The problem isn't getting blown away by Pakistan. It is what blows me away is the fact that this team belies every sense of sporting logic all the time. I will say that. I just never get it. There is no point analyzing them. There is no point trying to delve deep because something will happen and they'll just be there and thereabouts. I do not understand that.
See, 2022,
They're
they
a
lost to Zimbabwe.
They're a proper case study. Like you said, like the unique specimen out there that you just don't know.
They are a case study in mercurial behavior.
Yeah.
Mercurial temperamental play. And I think no PhD thesis can even justify that. Because that will have to undergo plenty of changes then.
It's actually like trying to understand nature, na? It's a work of nature. It's a work of.
Trust me, nature is easier to understand.
I can't make sense of Pakistan. Neither the country, neither the cricket. I can't make
But
sense
see,
of it.
again, there is a method to the madness, and I'll tell you what that is. We were talking about it. PCB, when they came up with that whole, press releases, then the fiasco with Inzamam
WhatsApp
giving
chats.
the resignation, the chat leaked in this thing. That wasn't a coincidence. That was all by design. Because, that was their last throw of the dice. Last throw of the dice. So they thought, okay, now we can qualify, now they can qualify, now they can qualify. But when you reached absolutely the last option, dead end, that's when PCB said, they sat together, got together, what is it that can push our team to the semi-final? Said, boss, there's only one thing now. Some sort of hangama, some sort of controversy. We got to do something. So he said, pronto, let's do it. Ashit, you arrange for a television show, leak the chats. Siddharth, you get ready. Find out about Inzamamul's Huck's conflict of interest. Come on, Shane, get ready. Tell us about, send a press release saying that we have given a full free hand to the captain, to Babar Azam, and he has done, we will take a call on him, and all get at work. And slowly and steadily, all the board members got down to work, and guess what? It's paid off.
But that didn't happen in 22.
Because
they didn't plan it like that. No.
They made it to the finals even then.
Yeah.
After losing to Zimbabwe and India.
That's an overachievement. Them making it to the semis here is also an overachievement. And I mean, I know I'm saying this with Pakistan, so I have to be a little careful, but they did take the nuclear option rather well.
Yeah.
Good one, Shane.
So Fakhar Zaman today nuked the Kiwis, is it? With his batting.
Not commenting on that.
So,
Go viral.
yeah.
Naval Singh.
Naval Singh is saying it is not only this game, but Kudratna Nizam working in Oz versus England. The dew is out. Okay, DEW. Okay. And England is looking pretty good to beat Australia. Love from Abu Dhabi. I mean, I did say that England were looking good to beat Australia today.
And right now they seem to be going in comfort cruise control because I think they know that the dew is out. If they settle in, they can accelerate at any time. They're just kind of trying to consolidate because they lost those 2 early wickets.
Yep. Ashish sir is saying, how can Rohit react if Fakhar's batting like this?
If he faces this kind of good, but India, I think to be fair, have more variety. That can trouble.
True.
Yep.
Speaking of variety, we only have 5 bowlers now.
Yeah, but I
Those
think
5 actually are
fine. I mean, what can you do about it?
No, but those are 5 very fine players as well. So, which is why, when you talk about the matchup, let's say against some of the Proteas batters as well, let's see. It's actually the test, for the South Africans much more than the Indian bowlers. Indian bowlers, 66 out of 70 wickets taken. Let's see tomorrow if they can score 350.
Yeah.
Make them bat first. Let's see. Take it up as a challenge. Whatever.
Yeah. Can happen. I mean, see, Shami getting rid of de Kock. I mean, that's happened in 2015. Shami's had a good record against Quinton de Kock. So maybe in that sense.
Yeah, IPL as well a couple of times,
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah.
Yep. So in that way, let's see. Mr. Shekhar is saying, even if New Zealand win versus SL, Pakistan do have the slight advantage of knowing how to eclipse New Zealand net run rate, given Pakistan versus England is second last game of this round.
That's a good point. Actually.
But again, 0.4 to 0.04 will need a lot.
There's still an equation, is the point.
Yeah.
Okay, what if England
and they'll know that, right? They'll know.
So essentially, if you look at it, Pakistan will have to chase in order to eclipse a net run rate. If you look at it, that's their strongest suit. They won against Bangladesh, they won against New Zealand chasing, isn't it? Now, Surya Reddy is giving, I don't know, you'll have to check that. Pakistan will need to beat England by approximately 130 runs if New Zealand beats Sri Lanka by 1 run. Okay, Pakistan will not qualify for sure if New Zealand beat SL.
Oh, but if they can win a game where the opposition has scored 400s, they sure can beat England by 130 runs also.
Yeah.
Funnier things have happened.
But
It's not like that kind of a game where team has batted first and in a 50-over game you have to win in 2.3 overs. There've been games like that also. It's not that. 130, India won a game by 302 runs, ladies and gentlemen, just a couple of days ago. 130 does not seem like a miracle.
But not everyone bows down the way Sri Lanka do, no?
yeah, they don't
2 matches,
England.
England.
Yeah, but you don't know. You don't know. You saw how India beat England.
100 runs.
Well, doesn't seem like a bridge too far. 130 runs. No.
But that's
now I'm not
one
putting
run.
past this Pakistan team.
But that is one
run.
If New Zealand beat Sri Lanka by 1 run.
So if it's, let's say, 2 runs,
higher.
2 runs is higher. Exactly. 1 run is 100.
That is why. So if you chase, suppose England knots up 300, they may have to chase it on 20 overs to get past New Zealand on the net run rate factor.
And not even Fakhar Zaman and Duckworth-Lewis can chase down 320 overs.
Yeah. Unless they employ Rajasthan Royals like bowlers against Mumbai, remember? Yeah. So that's why I said Pakistan might still not make it, but because I'll tell you why. You remember prior to this, your net run rate was minus 0.03. But look at the margin of victory, 21 runs. If you have to look at it, DLS has not helped. Actually.
But okay, at
It's
least points.
50%,
Right
50%,
now,
yeah.
First you look at points. Once points are there, then you look at net run rate. So pretty sure they would have wanted the victory first and then net run rate comes into the picture later.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They wanted the win. But actually it's not boosted their net run rate. Just taken them just above positive.
Yeah.
So that's why 21 run win is not that great, but fine. Pakistan have gotten 2 points. Australia, New Zealand, Afghanistan, Pakistan all are on 8 points now. And one of the teams is definitely getting to 10 because if Australia lose this, they stay on 8. Australia, Afghanistan is the clash of 2 8s. New Zealand, Sri Lanka, that's one team that's on 8. And come on.
There's nobody
Oh
there.
no one.
Yes,
third
come
man.
on to the fence. Third man?
Oh, fine leg. Sorry, I thought fine. So, I have predictions as far as Australia, England goes. I think England are winning it.
Does seem like they're the favourites. I mean, unless they do in England and just capitulate. Which
Yeah.
I'll never put past them at this point.
20 overs are up anyway, so no threat of rain here anyway. So, I think England are winning this.
Seems likely.
Yeah, Malan's looking good for once. After Bangladesh, he's looking good.
So is Ben Stokes.
Ben Stokes is.
After he was made a mockery of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, badly.
Exactly. Yep. So.
Are those all the questions?
Have we? Yes. Let's go. I think in Bapaditya Karan saying India will play Australia in Kolkata.
No.
How?
No, they
Although
can't.
he's got it wrong. India will play Australia in Mumbai. SA versus PAK in Kolkata.
Correct.
Just to give you a clarity, no matter what happens, anything, India finish first, second, whatever, third, whatever, India are playing in Mumbai. That's it. The only way India is not going to play in Mumbai is if India are to play Pakistan.
Yeah.
So, assuming, let's say, India finished second, again, I'm giving you, India finished first, whether they play Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, whoever they play, they're playing in Mumbai. India finish second and Pakistan qualify but finish third, still India are playing in Mumbai. It's only if, then they're playing in Kolkata.
Yeah.
But if India finish first and Pakistan finish third, India is still playing in Mumbai. If Pakistan finish, fourth and India finish second, still India are playing in Mumbai.
Correct.
So no matter where India finish, no matter what is the equation, India are playing the semi-final in Mumbai. The only way India will not play in Mumbai is if they draw Pakistan.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only thing you look at. And that seems like there is a bit of a chance of that happening, considering I'm assuming India finish first. And Pakistan now have a chance, an outside chance albeit, of finishing fourth.
Yep. So yeah, and India versus Pakistan final, that definitely isn't happening. Definitely can't happen.
Yeah, it cannot happen for various reasons. One, for Pakistan to qualify with semi-final even now tough, but
Yeah.
assuming they do, okay, New Zealand lose to Sri Lanka and Pakistan win, right?
Yep.
They then qualify, right? Then the net run rate and all don't come into play. They qualify, they assuming they finish fourth. So if they finish fourth, India are going to finish first, then anyway India-Pakistan final cannot happen.
Yeah.
Because one has to lose in that semi-final.
Exactly. So let's see how it goes, but still 1 week of league games left.
One league of relevant league games.
Now it is relevant.
Business end.
Okay, let's take a few more questions. Shakin PS says, now it's clear that Root Smith cannot be compared with Virat across format. Williamson is the only guy who's in the same league of Virat. Thoughts?
Across formats, no one is in the same league as Virat. Across formats. If you go all 3 formats, no player comes
But
below.
closest would be Williamson.
Closest would be Williamson. Closest. But even he's still 2 notches below, if you ask me.
Yeah. T20s, Williamson's not been that consistent.
No debate.
Correct.
No debate there at all.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but I said closest.
Closest. Yeah.
Closest.
There is Virat and then there is the rest.
As far as all
There's
formats.
Virat.
are
Like
As-
if you look at it, if there is a podium in Formula 1, Virat is there and then there is a 50-second gap with second and third.
Across
That's how-
formats, I'll say the same thing that Nasser says for Virat the Chaser. There's Virat, there's Daylight, then there's others.
There's others. Yes, correct.
Okay, in all of this, we've forgotten, as Sai Srivastav points out, if Afghanistan win against RSA and Australia, imagine that. I agree.
Because all they have to do is echo out results. They don't care about net run rate, nothing.
And then forget about New Zealand and Pakistan put together.
Exactly.
Forget about them. Then there is South Africa, Australia, Afghanistan, India. Thank you very much. Bye bye, New Zealand and Pakistan. Keep having your little battle as to who wins, what net run rate. Bye bye. See you. Tata. Vanakkam. So what sort of Afghanistan can you? Never say never.
Yeah.
Though, having said that, I do see Afghanistan beating South Africa is possibility, especially if they get South Africa to chase in Ahmedabad. You know, conditions can help you. Can be a dry pitch, turning track. You can see it, but them beating Australia at the Wankhede, I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
That's it. That's that one game that I'm not giving them any chance.
Correct. Same here, because Australia will get to 10 at max, because they're not losing to this Bangladesh outfit. I'm sorry.
At max or at least?
At max. I mean, they could lose. Potentially, Afghanistan could do it in Mumbai. I mean, if Australia bat first, then gone. Then
It's tough, no, because either ways, it's not a track that's really going to help your spin bowlers, and it's a track where you need to have that batting prowess to chase 350 plus. That will be like a par score there. So if that's the case, then I'm not sure. I don't think it's to the liking of Afghanistan, I guess.
Yep. So, okay, GGK is asking me, is there any way Pakistan can come to number 3? Then we can beat Pakistan in final, then in semi. Will be more satisfied. So he essentially wants an India-Pakistan
final to take.
Okay, for that to happen, okay, Australia, New Zealand have to lose all the games. All. So they will stay on 8 points only. Then Pakistan, if they beat England, then they get to 10. So it's third. Third is sealed.
How do they get to 10?
They'll get to 8 then.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, they'll get to 8, but then if Australia lose all their games by
they've won 4 games, haven't they?
Pakistan have won 4, no? Now
4.
they're at 8.
They get to 10. Yeah. If they get to 10, third spot, either of Australia or New Zealand lose by big margins, the net run rate doesn't play a big role. They stay in fourth.
There is another way, and I'm not wishing this, but if India somehow contrived to finish second, then if Pakistan finish fourth, they're still not facing.
But then India will have to lose massively to South Africa tomorrow.
He's saying somewhere down the line.
I get his point. If he's talking about not leave 3 aside, he wants an India-Pakistan final. So if Pakistan finish fourth and India finish second, they're not facing off in the semi.
Yeah,
then they could potentially be in India-Pakistan.
But that's what I'm saying. Chances of India finishing second are also very meager, no?
Yeah, neither of these are big chance things.
Exactly. These are this is hypothesis at best.
Because if India lose tomorrow, South Africa are level with them on 14. But then India face Netherlands and South Africa face Afghanistan. Now, whoever wins by the bigger margin will have the better net run rate. So that's why.
No, because there's a question by GGK, is there any way PAK can finish number 3?
That's what we were just
what we just discussed. Pakistan win against England, they get to 10. New Zealand lose all their games, Australia lose.
Only then can Pakistan make it to 3. And hope that Afghanistan
will get to 10.
Exactly, because if you're saying that Australia lose, then Afghanistan will automatically win.
Afghanistan also wins only one game.
Yeah, that also is another
and that too a very slim margin.
True.
That's the way it is.
By the way, in all of this, it's benefited South Africa. Let's not forget they are officially qualified for the semi-final. Why is that important? Because remember, India were playing South Africa tomorrow and they would have gone without much pressure because they've got the Q in front of their name, so could have played much more freely than South Africa. But now that South Africa is also qualified, it will also allow them to go out and express themselves. No tension of last minute permutation combination. Now you are through. Of course you'd want to finish, and which is why the motivation now to finish on top, because by the way, neither of the teams would like to face Australia. It seems like that whoever finishes second most likely will be facing Australia. So that actually then is quite an important game between India and South Africa, because that will definitely decide who finishes on top. And both teams would want to, as I said, you'd rather play a New Zealand / Pakistan or Afghanistan, whatever, than face in Australia.
Exactly. Australia is the team. I mean, they up their game in the league stages and the knockouts in particular. They're an alpha team. So.
Yeah.
True. But remember, at this point, it's all to play for in the last league game, in the last week.
Yeah.
So let's see. The game or the table churner has been done. Pakistan have achieved what they wanted to do. If Australia win this, then I think Pakistan can't finish at number 3.
So before we wind up, let's spend some time talking about India-South Africa. What do you reckon is happening?
India are making it 8 zip.
Easy peasy.
Not easy peasy. It will be a good fight. But I think Because India have the depth in both the batting and the bowling. I think South Africa will have a real test on their hands.
India win, but it'll be probably the closest game they've had, even closer than the New Zealand game.
You think so?
Yes.
I'm not worrying about the result much. I want India to be bowling first to South Africa. That's what I want. South Africa bat first, because that's been their stronger suit. I want to see how this Indian bowling comes up against them. If South Africa
In
bat
flat conditions,
Yeah.
India bowling first and then chasing a big target.
Yeah.
That's your aim.
I want to see that happen.
I am saying if South Africa are chasing, India winning easy. If South Africa are chasing, India winning easy. If South Africa are batting first and India are chasing, India still winning, maybe a closer game. But India still winning. I can't see South Africa beat this Indian team. It's not that they can't, but percentage wise, if these two teams had to play 10 games, I'd pick 8 times I'd pick this Indian team to win. Maybe twice I'd pick South Africa. So that's how much I see the gap between these two teams. So let's see what happens. What we're getting to know from Kolkata is that it's a flat batting track, so plenty of runs. However, I have a feeling that we've seen it in the past, in the sense in the games that have happened in Kolkata, for quite recently or in the last few years at least, we've seen that the pitch at Eden has helped fast bowlers. But I have a feeling with whatever little games I've seen in this World Cup, the pitches have been kind of dry and it has assisted spin bowling. And I expect the pitch that is going to be there tomorrow slightly more drier and assisting a bit more spin bowling. I know Keshav Maharaj had a good outing last time around and he can be good, but overall I think Indian spin bowlers much better. Plus now you're in a situation, even if it was a hell fast bowler, I'd still say India go in as the favourites, because you know how good the Indian fast bowlers have been. So either way, whatever the situation, I reckon India would be the favourites.
Yep. It'll be a close game, but I think India are not going to be troubled that much.
Yeah, and no changes. I don't expect any changes, not at Eden. In fact, I see from here on Ashwin being on the bench, because you could at the Netherlands game just make changes for the heck of it, just to keep everyone going. But even that I doubt. I still think that they'll take that game seriously and go with the full team, because it's coming after a long gap and you wouldn't want to your players to lose touch of playing a game. So it comes after a week, and if you don't let them play that also, why players semi-finals? So you'd want them to be in rhythm, you play that. And if they win all of that, you're playing semis, you're not going to make big changes in the semis. And if you win the semis, you're clearly not changing your team. So I doubt you get to see Ashwin from here on.
I have the same feeling, because again, you're playing the semi-final not too far away from the time that you play your last match. So 12th, and then you'll be playing on the 15th. So you don't want your players to be going through such a long break as well. 9th you play, then you don't want...
You play on 5th and then 12th.
No, if I'm saying then 12th. 5th and 12th, sorry, not 9th, 5th and 12th. So again, you don't want your players to play on the 5th, then not play the 12th game and then straight away. So that's a 10-day gap then. You don't want a 10-day gap.
Yeah.
Exactly.
1 week is good enough.
And that too, you're also traveling 12th, you finish 13th, you'll travel to Mumbai. Then 14th, you'll have a optional practice or a full practice session, and then 15th, you're playing.
Game time.
Somebody pointed out, Sachin Kashyap is saying, Nikhil sir, in the evening it will swing
Hooghly belt.
Hooghly belt, because the river and Shami will explode versus South Africa. But Sachin, it's not actually the moisture from the Hooghly river which will help them. It is actually going to be the ball that India get, because India have got special balls with some nice device inside they've put, and that device allows the ball to swing extra.
It's a homing device.
So it doesn't matter whether there's Hooghly or not. India is going to get extra swing. South Africa won't get.
Rahul Dravid has this remote, no?
Yeah.
By the way, on the subject of Rahul Dravid, I don't know whether you put that out in the press conference. Did you put that Virat Kohli bit where he says...
Yeah, he's not that worried about his 40. He's just...
No. So he actually said, because, and that I thought was the gem of the press conference, was Rahul Dravid was asked that, now no Hardik Pandya, so no six bowler. But he said we have a wrong-footed in swinger.
Wrong-footed menace.
We have a wrong-footed menace. No, wrong-footed in-swinging menace.
Menace, yes.
So the wrong-footed bowler who can bring the ball in with his in-swinger. So we have him to go to.
Yeah.
And he said, I fancy giving him 2 overs. Last match, there was a lot of demand from the crowd to give him an over. And we almost did. So get ready to see Virat Kohli bowl a few overs in Kolkata if need be. So in a situation, what has happened is because no Hardik Pandya. So right now you're not really seeing what the Indian team is missing because of Hardik Pandya, because your 5 bowlers are doing their job. But on a day where one of the bowlers has a bad day, that's when you need a Hardik. But now you won't have him.
Yeah.
You'll just play 5 straight regular bowlers. So you'll have to get them to finish their 10. But now the Indian team is looking at Virat Kohli, the in-swinging wrong-footed menace.
I thought he was a wrong-footed out-swinging menace.
No, he said in-swinging.
I thought Virat.
No, he gets it in also. Yeah. Because with his action like this, it
So
actually
close
comes
to the
in. Comes
He
in.
himself isn't a big fan of his action. He says, "पता नहीं क्या ही बनाया भगवान ने."
Actually, for a guy who's played so much cricket.
11 years he's not.
There's no sync between the arms and the legs.
Yeah, like I remember watching say Sachin bowl everything.
Everything,
But
yeah.
phenomenal action. Even Saurav Ganguly would run from the boundary and bowl dibbly dowblies, but his action was clean.
Yeah.
Kohli is just like he goes here, there, and everywhere.
That can confuse.
Huh?
By the way, the other one who didn't have a great action was part-time was MS Dhoni.
Yeah.
Also not the most pleasing action while bowling.
Aesthetically, definitely not pleasing at all.
Dravid had a decent action.
Yeah, off spinner.
Off spin. Had a good action. 2 wickets he got
Lakshman
off.
as well.
Lakshman, yeah. He got 2 wickets. Kirsten and Klusner. Rahul Dravid.
A lot of them bowled. KF also bowled off spin.
Yeah, KF
Dhoni also got Peterson, almost.
No, he got him, but I think his first wicket was
in
Travis Dowlin.
West Indies.
Travis Dowlin, first wicket.
And he got hit for a 4 the ball before that.
But he got him with a wicked in-swinger.
Wicked in-swinger.
That was a in-swinger of a guy.
Yeah.
Holy, his last wicket was an outswinger, by the way. Johnson Charles.
Johnson Charles, yeah.
It was an outswinger, he top-edged it, so fine.
Okay, on that note, thank you so much for your company. We've gone on for far too long, but we're going to be back at the end of the Australia-New Zealand game.
England
game, and then back tomorrow, building up to the India game at 1 o'clock. 1:10, around 1:10 we'll be live.
And
Another wicket.
Just the boss is out. And there continues his woeful World
He's
Cup.
been terrible with the bat, man. Terrible.
One.
Gone
And
for
this
one.
time a pacer hasn't got him, a leg spinner has got him.
So few things are going to happen today. Just as South Africa have qualified for the semis, England are going to be out.
No.
Yeah.
Mathematically also they can't. Now the only thing is, can they qualify for the Champions?
Champions Trophy.
Whoa.
Nice bat.
Imagine, they are battling with Netherlands and Bangladesh for that.
How the mighty have fallen.
And on 7th, that's the ultimate clash, England-Netherlands. Ultimate clash for survival. And what a fall it would be. 19 to 22, white ball kings, won ODI World Cup, won the T20 World Cup. Now no World Cup for them and out of Champions Trophy.
So
How the mighty fall.
Exactly.
a World Cup final, a World Cup match will be played in the backdrop of a Champions Trophy qualification.
I know, I find it so surreal. Champions Trophy qualification, are you kidding me? Oh, cricket, complicated since 1893.
On that note, thank you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Vanakkam.
Nandri.